Hi, good morning, all of you guys. I hope all of you can hear me. So, guys, can you please confirm? Is I'm audible, guys?
Yes, very well.
Right, guys. Thank you. So, guys, hope all of you have been able to follow the sessions. Who has been joined a little bit lately? It's not going to be an nothing has been happened, as it already told you yesterday. Also, we have been discussed about that. What has been happened? Anyone, guys, has been joined for the today's class? If anybody has joined for the today's class, please let me know. Akshay, have you joined today or already joined a couple of days back?
Last 2 days I have.
Okay, you attended. Right. I think nobody is
But
there.
sir,
Yeah.
I'm so
Yes,
sorry to
Akshay.
interrupt you, sir.
Yeah, sure. Go
Sir,
ahead.
you said that this class has been this course has been started in the month of February, right?
It was started in February 16th.
Okay. So
Mm.
can I get that session videos?
Yes, absolutely, will get it. But you have to complete your registration process.
Oh, okay.
Okay, if you complete your registration process, you will be getting, I told you, my class sessions will be given. Along with that, there is a separate videos from Durga sir.
Correct.
So his videos also will be shared to you. That is a complete Python course. This is only the Python related to our data science. Only whatever that is required, only I'm going to be discussing about that. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
fine, right. Right, guys. Anybody, guys, any questions? If you have any questions, I can just clarify it and then I can go ahead actually. Yes, Suresh, right? Suresh, what about your installation? Yesterday you have been tried installation.
Sir, I have installed it, sir.
Okay, is it working right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, good. So guys, if anybody having any issues, you can just contact me while any installation. Suresh yesterday has been having a problem, so we connected over the this one that is going to be any desk software, and I have been just verified his. There is some problem is there, so I just recommended to install the software. Okay, so I think group was not yet created. Okay, I'll create a group also actually, guys. One WhatsApp group will be created for us, so we'll be accessing, we'll be sharing all our issues or any knowledge, whatever you want. I can share you through that particular group. I will create a group, guys. Within a couple of days, I'll create a group because some new people has been got joined. Right, guys. So guys, we can go ahead with the last session actually. So yesterday we have to complete of the functions concept, but yesterday due to some discussions, we are unable to complete the discussions actually. So let us go ahead and we'll study the case actually, guys. Okay, fine. So guys, just before starting, any questions if you have any questions, I can just answer your questions and I can go ahead. Anybody, any questions for the today's session? Right. So let us go ahead actually, guys. So yesterday we have been got discussed something about a concept called as an star arcs actually, guys. I'm talking about the functions concept. So everybody has been joined. No one has been joined for the today's class. Everybody is from the last session. So I think so you don't have any difficulty in understanding the today's class because yesterday also we have been got discussed in functions concept. Normally in any language we know functions are going to be allows you to provide some kind of an arguments. We can provide it actually. Arguments are nothing but some inputs. So because I want to make a function as a dynamic, like for example, I told you about that. For example, if I create a function like this, diff, which is going to be add num, if I don't pass any arguments, then what it is going to happen is actually, it is only just becomes a static addition. So let us say 10 plus 20, how many times you call this function? It's not taking any argument from yourself. It is not taking in arguments, guys. When it's not taking in arguments, always it is going to returns a value of 30 is an output, what it is going to returns. But I don't want to restrict like that. User can perform any addition. So for that, I told you add num of, for example, if I give two arguments only, I comma j, so which is going to be written, which is going to be I plus j. So depending on the depending on the input, we are going to get the output. If I give 10 and 20, I'll get 30. If I give 100 and 200, I'll get 300. If I give plus 1, minus 1, I'll get 0. So depending on the input, it is going to come. But the problem here is this add num can add only two numbers only. You cannot add three numbers in the add num. If you want to add three numbers, then we have to write again another function. For four arguments, I have to write another function. For 5 arguments, we have to write another function. But I don't want to restrict the user to restrict that number of arguments. That's why what we have been seeing is we have been seeing some kind of an what we can call it as a flexible arguments are there, or an arbitrary arguments, what we can say that. That means what is meaning of flexible arguments means user does not have any limit for that. User can pass as many arguments we can pass it actually. So diff, which is going to be the same add num, and we have to use the arguments prefixed with arg star. Actually, even we can use a star x also we can use, star y also we can use, star I can use, anything I can use. But in Python, what we generally follow here is, guys, one standard notations will follow. Python recommends saying that everybody follow the same standard naming notations. Even namings also should be the same. Normally, in a programming language, whenever I say add two numbers. So generally, when you said add two numbers, write a program for adding of two numbers. Some people will take I and j. Some people take a and b. Some people will take x and y. So there is nothing difference is there. Here we have to write the code with respect to the I plus j. Here we have to write the code with respect to a and b. Here we have to write with respect to this one. Or some people write it as n1, n2. n1 is one number, n2 is another number. So instead of following a different notations, Python recommends saying that, why should I use the names like that? Don't use the names like that. Everybody will follow the same notations only will follow, so that it will be convenient. Everybody uses the same naming notations. It will be convenient. Anyhow, in the coming classes, I'll tell you. Like, for example, I have a library called as an pandas. So we have to import the library. Import, which is going to be pandas. They always recommend a standard name. Like for pandas, the shortcut name is PD. So Python recommends saying that, the Python community recommends saying that everybody use the same name only. Don't use, you can also say X also we can say. But if for example, if I import by using X, everything I'll write it by using X dot, X dot, X dot. But whenever I share this code with some other person, for example, he has imported by using the name Y, this code does not work in the system. He has to change the code here now. Pandas as which is going to be Y, and he has to write the code. Or if he has to change from Y to X, he has to change the code. So instead of doing all these changes, the Python recommends saying that the code should be executed as it is inside the Python. Without having any problem, we have to run the code. Without making any changes, we have to run the code. So let us all of them follows the same notation. So here also, you can use star args, or you can use star X, star Y, star Z, whatever you want. But my recommendation is going to be args. But only thing here is, whatever the input we are giving, add num of. Yesterday we have seen, guys, all of you have attended the last session. If anybody has missed the last session, please let me know, guys. I'll just given what exactly has been got discussed. I'll tell you once again in the last class. So I think everybody has been joined. No one has been joined for the today's class, right? Just I can see one names. Yeah, everybody has been. I think Sai, have you joined today? I can see some name, Sai. Today, have we joined? Okay. So Sai, actually, just we have started with the Python basic concepts. I have been got started. So just it is about to complete for today. We'll complete off. If you already have an idea about Python, so well and good. No worries about that. Otherwise, you can just go through some backup videos, recorded videos will be there. My team will share with you once you complete your registration, and then you can go through the videos. If you already have the idea, there is nothing to worry. Okay. So do you have the idea about Python, Sai? You have an idea about Python? Yeah. Okay. Have the Python you can. So do you know this concept, star args in Python? Whatever I'm discussing, star args in the Python. Do you have the idea? Yes. Okay. If you have the idea, so well and good. You can go ahead. Right. Right, guys. We'll go ahead, guys. So this is going to be add num, but how it is converted, I told you about that. So for the time being, it is going to be gets converted into tuple. So for some people, I have been explained you. Okay, if you've done the core Python training, okay, well and good, does not matter, right? So if it is converted into tuple actually, guys, so tuple is nothing but a Python object, which is going to be nothing but just like a collection of heterogeneous values. Later, we can see that it's not a matter about that, but you can access one by one value with the help of a first statement. So how to get the values, I told you about that. For I in the args, what is I in the args actually, guys? For each value in the I, so each value in the args is represented by the I. First time I will take 10, second time I will take 20, third time I will take 30, third time I will take 40. Like that, we kept it in a loop and we have been gotten actually. But one important point we have to remember here is, guys, whenever we use the star args, compulsory these must be positional arguments only. You know what is meaning of positional arguments? Positional arguments means we should not give any name to these arguments. Normally, whenever we have this add num I comma j, then you can write something like add num. While calling, you can add it. Add num of I equal to 10, j equal to 20. These are what we call it as keyword arguments. We call them as in keyword arguments. So these keyword arguments are not going to be something like you can use or no need to use it actually. That is not a mandatory to use. But here it is not like that actually, guys. Whenever I use a star args, don't think that, sir, anyhow argument name is args. Why don't you give args equal to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50? We cannot use this particular keyword arguments whenever I use this particular concept called as an star args. So whenever I'm using this particular arguments as a star, don't give any keyword arguments. It will only allows positional arguments only. We cannot have a keyword arguments. That is the one important point we have to remember it. So don't expect that we can directly give whatever the variables you want to give it actually, guys. And one more thing, guys, for the guys who has been joined recently, I told you to install, which is going to be the Anaconda Python. So I told you how to install it also actually, guys. If you already have an idea, you can install it. It's not a big problem at all. Just go to anaconda.com. We have an Anaconda distribution is there. Just download and install it. Just you have to open your start button. There you will be having Anaconda 3 will be there. Just click on the Jupyter notebook. Automatically, the Jupyter notebook will start automatically, guys. Okay. So automatically it starts with the Jupyter notebook. So maximum 99%, you don't have any problem at all, guys. One or two people may find the problem. Yesterday, Suresh has faced the problem. So he has been done some changes and all these things. That is the reason it has been got corrupted. So again, reinstallation will make the changes. No need to worry about that. Okay, but careful. While doing the installation, all these things, don't delete the files manually and all these things. Don't do that. So reinstall it correctly, properly. It will work actually, guys. Okay. So it is starting the Jupyter notebook. Let me start the Jupyter notebook, guys. It's taking some time. Just wait for a few minutes. It's not required. Just generally it won't do that because my system is going to be having multiple applications. No, that is the reason it may take some time actually. I think just a second once. Just a second once. I think the Power BI and all applications has been opened. Let me close some of the applications, guys. Just a second, guys. I'll close it. Just a second, guys. I'll finish off it. Okay. So let this happen. Let me close it. Right. So this is my Jupyter notebook actually, guys. So we can just click on just go to the new and click on the Python 3 actually, guys. So once if we click on the Python 3, it will open a new notebook. It will open it actually. So just we can type on whatever the code you want to write. You can type that particular code here actually, guys. Let me execute it. Right. So once again, I'll show you guys. Once again, I show you the application, which is going to be diff, which is going to be, let us say that, which is going to be the find underscore sum, which is going to be something like n, which is going to be, I'm not restricting the arguments actually, guys, args, but internally that should be treated as an tuple actually, guys. So t equal to 0, we are assigning a t variable 0. And then what I'm going to do is for I in the args actually, guys. And then what I'm going to do is t plus is equivalent to nothing but I value. I is nothing but a value of the arguments. And come outside the first statement and we have to say return the value of t. You should not do within the, so tab space is going to be, it is within the first statement, but we have to write outside the first statement, guys, not inside the first statement. Now see guys, I'm going to be calling the function. How to call the function now? You cannot say find the sum of, I cannot say args is equal to 10, args is equal to 20, args is equal to 30, 40. We cannot do it actually, guys. If I execute it, you can see clearly an error saying that, you can see there, guys. Positional argument follows a keyword argument. You know this actually, guys. This is nothing but a keyword argument. Keyword argument cannot be followed by a positional argument. Okay, I'll do one thing. I will remove this and I will set it actually, guys. So I said, which is going to be args is equal to 10. Okay, guys. Got an unexpected keyword argument called as an args. We can't give it actually, guys. Don't give any name. Even you cannot say star args. You cannot use any this kind of an application. It must be compulsory. Only and only the positional arguments only we can work. We cannot go for a keyword argument. See, unexpected keyword argument called as an args. We can't give any keyword arguments. You just give 10. You give 10, it will work. You give 20, it will work. How many numbers you give does not matter. You can give any random numbers, anything you can give it actually, guys. Any random numbers you give, whatever the data you want to give, you can just give that particular values, whatever the data you can give. Just execute it. We'll get that particular sum of all the numbers. We are going to get it actually, guys. Sum of all the numbers. There is no restriction actually. Generally, this concept is not available in any language. No language will provide you this kind of a functionality. So no language means as part of my knowledge, whatever I'm having the knowledge of Java, C, C++, .NET, whatever it may be, generally we don't have this kind of concept called as a flexible arguments. We don't have it. Everything is a limited only. Up to some extent only we can write, but beyond that, we cannot write that kind of an applications. So this is going to be what we can call it as a flexible arguments or arbitrary arguments, what we can call it as. So actually today's our plan is to discuss one more concept is left over, guys. That is going to be what we are going to call it as. It is a double star. Nothing is there actually, guys. Same concept, but only the thing is, as I told you, naming is not a mandatory. Naming is only just a recommendation only. So Python recommends to use, which is going to be the arguments as double star, which is going to be kwargs. That means variable prefixed with star and variable prefixed with double star. That's it. Both of them are going to be flexible only, guys. But difference here is, it is a keyword arguments. It is a keyword arguments actually, guys. So what is args is going to be, what is star args is going to be helping you? There is no limit. There is no limit for the arguments. No limit for arguments. There is no limit for the arguments actually, guys. You can give as many arguments you can give. That is what we are going to call it as a flexible argument. Now here it is nothing is there actually, guys. It is going to be flexible keyword arguments. It is a flexible keyword arguments. This is going to be flexible keyword arguments, guys. Now have a look at this one. So in Python, I told you, Python is all about calling a function. Python is all about calling a function only, guys. So whenever we want to call a function, mainly we have to require some basic parameters actually, guys. To call a function, what are the basic requirements actually, guys? We require a function name is required. You have to know the function name and we have to know the arguments. Third thing is going to be what is the arguments order also is required actually, guys. Okay. So if you simply know that the function is taking 2 arguments, that is not sufficient actually, guys. What is the order also is going to be important. So what is your order? For example, if I said, normally when you're writing I plus j, however you insert the data, that does not matters with that. But when you write I minus j, there is a lot of difference will be there actually, guys. For example, the function is there. First argument is I, second argument is j. So whenever you are calling the function by writing 10, 20, output is minus 10 because 10 minus 20. If I write 20 minus 10, the result is going to be 10. So order is also important actually, guys. Without knowing the order, we cannot play. We cannot play it correctly actually. We cannot work with the correctly. So we know one of the problem actually, guys. One of the problem is, let us talk about a function called as an add num or any function. Let us say that I comma j. I'm not writing in a function actually, guys. Generic way I'm writing it actually. So I'm going to be returning some value of I plus j. While you are calling the function, compulsory we have to follow the same names only. You can call it without the names also. We can call add num of 10 comma 20. Okay, I don't have a problem. Output will be 30 will be written. But whenever I want to say add num of, if I said I equal to 10, j equal to 20, which is going to be 30. But unfortunately, if you said add num of, for example, if I said a equal to 10 and b equal to 20 or j equal to 20, you will get some error saying that I didn't find any such kind of argument a. I didn't find any such type of argument. We have to pass the arguments as it is. You have to give the arguments as it is. Without the name, without the argument in the function, we cannot call it. But function is all about calling the function only. Python is all about calling the functions only. Everywhere we are going to call the function. Even yesterday I shown you one small example also. In example also I have shown you actually. Just an example I'm talking about. Yesterday I shown you one function. I didn't, no need to worry about that. PLT dot bar. The actual arguments are, guys, x is equal to what is on x-axis and what is going to be the height of the bar. Generally, this is the values what we have to give it. For example, let us say that the user didn't remember these parameters. Simply while calling, he said PLT dot bar. Generally, everybody remembers like what is on x-axis, what is on y-axis. Immediately, we are going to get an error. Why you will get an error actually? Because it says that I didn't find any argument called as a y. Why? Because the parameter is actually the height, but you provided the y actually. So immediately we'll get an error actually, guys. So whenever the error comes, immediately the person, the programmer is going to be, even whenever suddenly one error comes, one of the major mistake we'll do is immediately we'll worry about that. It is not working. I'm doing wrong. So immediately you are going to worry about that. And you are going to be looking into that particular function. I didn't execute this. Whenever error appears, don't try to just immediately become panic about that actually, guys. Don't become a panic about that. Just closely look at that, why the problem is there. So to avoid these problems, to make the particular users to avoid the panic about that, whenever you do like this only, I'm not saying that exactly it happens actually, guys. Okay, don't think that if I call the bar x and y, it will don't give an error. To avoid that particular confusion or panic to that particular programmers, immediately PLT dot bar, what it will do is it won't throw the error, but it will simply, it does not throw the error, but it is going to sit silently. It is going to sit silently without doing any output. So first of all, the program is executed. So see guys, program is not executing. Program executed, but a different result. See, when you return a program in any programming language, whenever some error comes, you given 10 and 20, for example, you're expecting output as 30, just an example. So program has been failed, program didn't execute it. So immediately you will become panic about that. Like why the code, what is the error here now? Let us say that you return the code, it didn't fail, but instead of getting 30, you have got 20 is the result. Then you will not be immediately panic about that. First of all, one satisfaction is program executed. That means there is no error in the syntax. There is a problem in the logic that I can verify that later. I can verify why the 20 error is coming. So everything I written correctly only, logic is not correct or logic maybe went wrong somewhere. So we can just verify that, and that confidence you have it actually. But whenever error comes, immediately you are going to be getting afraid of that. So generally, to avoid that, what the Python has done is, so whenever I'm creating the functions, whenever the user pass the arguments like that, immediately I don't throw any error. So in the earlier case, I given only flexibility to the number of arguments. But now, even if I give A and J also, I don't get any error in the Python actually, guys. You have to do that. Normally it is an error. But if you want to avoid that error, what you do is, instead of taking this kind of an argument, you take which is going to be double star args. What is an advantage if you use a double star args actually, guys? No limit for the arguments. What is double star stands for? There is no limit for the number of arguments. It is no limit for number of arguments, plus names are also no limit actually, guys. You can give any names, whatever you want to give. That means in the place of I comma j, if I use a double args, however you call, I don't bother. Add num of, which is going to be, you say a equal to 10, b equal to 20, k equal to 100. You give any number of arguments. I don't bother about that. I equals to 50, j equals to 60. You give any arguments, you take it actually. Okay, it is going to take all your values. It will take all your values. It is going to take actually, guys. A equal to 10, b equal to 20, k equals to 100, j equals to 50, j equals to, okay, I equals to 50, j equal to 60. It will take all the 5 arguments. It will accept it. It will accept it. But how it will convert it actually, guys? So yesterday I told you, like whenever I use the star args. So for people who do not have the idea about Python, just for a small timing, I'm telling you. So this args are going to be gets converted into tuple. Tuple is going to be nothing but just like a collection of values, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, something like that. But in this case, whenever we are having the flexible keyword arguments, then this is going to be gets converted into, which is going to be a dictionary object actually, guys. So guys who has been already done with the Python. So that is the reason actually, guys. We have to just understand the dictionaries. Why we have to understand the dictionaries? Why? Because whenever I'm using this double star, which is going to be the flexible keyword arguments, internally the arguments are going to be gets converted into a dictionary object. Just if you know what is a dictionary, that is sufficient actually, guys. So remember, whenever I use a double star KW args, it is going to be gets converted into, which is going to be something called as a dictionary. Dictionary is nothing but a key value pair actually, guys. So internally what will happen here is, this is how it will convert actually, guys. The variable name is converted into a key. This is called as a key. And 10 is a value actually, guys. B, the value is going to be 20. K, which is going to be nothing but 100. This is a key value pair mechanism actually, guys. Key colon value, key colon value, key colon value. I, which is going to be colon, which is 50, which is going to be J, which is going to be colon, which is going to be 60. So just if you understand what is a tuple, just if you understand how to create a dictionary, just how to access, for example, this dictionary name is X actually, guys. How to get this value 10? It is X of A. How to get this 60, which is going to be X of J. Just if you know this basic notation, that is sufficient, guys. You can go ahead and you can work with them. Actually, all the concepts, whatever I discussed in the as part of the list. For example, we discussed about something called as a list actually, guys. I discussed about a list concept. List is going to be contain some methods, like which is going to be append method. We are having an insert method. We are having a pop method. We are having something called as a remove method. We are having a sort. We are going to be having a reverse. So many methods I have been discussed in the class. For that, I spent 2 days of time. All these are not required, guys. Just 1 or 2 methods. Append. If you know that append and extend, maximum that is going to be sufficient actually, guys. Beyond that, it is not going to be required. We never use it. Even I told you in the class also. Why I'm discussing about all these methods basically, because I want to make you understand what is a method in Python. Being that is going to be my first example I'm discussing, I have been explained what is the different, all the 11 methods I have been explained. But out of the 11 methods, we'll use only 1 or 2 methods only we are going to use it, guys. Beyond that, we don't use it actually. Okay. So if you have been missed the previous classes, don't try to study all at a time, guys. Just a basics, like what is a list, how to create a list. What is a append method? Just if you know append method, very simple actually, guys. X is equal to 10, 20, 30, 40. Append is a method which is used to just, it is going to be append some value. If I said X dot append of 50, what it will do is, it will append the 50 to that particular X. It won't display any output. If you print the value of X, then we are going to be getting the result as 10, 20, 30, 40, which is going to be 50 is the result. It won't print anything on the screen. It won't return anything on the screen. It's a method actually, guys. Why? Because Python is an object-oriented programming style of programming. X is an object, append is a method, what we have to do. So just a basic ideas. If you know that, that is sufficient. Same as it is how to create a dictionary. This is how do you create a dictionaries, guys. To access the values from the dictionary, we have to use X of I, X of J, etc. But here in list, we cannot say that. Here we'll say X of 0, 10. What is X of 4, which is going to be 50, something like that, we'll get the output. Here we'll use the indexes. Here we are going to be using the keys. We are going to be using it actually. So that is the one which we can talk about, that particular application, what I'm going to be talking about that. Okay. So once again, I'll show you guys. So it is going to be what is going to be, we have seen already. If you want, I can print it actually, guys. What is going to be print? What is print the args? And also print what is going to be type of the args. Type is a function which will help you to find out what type of arguments it is. Execute and check it out actually, guys. It will return the 309, but along with that, it will print what is the value as a tuple. And it is also telling you it is going to be a tuple object actually, guys. Now, but you know that I cannot pass any flexible keyword arguments. I cannot use keyword. All of them should be positional only. But I don't want to restrict like that. I can give the user any argument we can give. Let me show you once. Define diff, which is going to be find sum of. For example, if I said x and y, these are not flexible arguments, guys. These are not flexible argument. Return x plus y. Do this, guys. Return x plus y. Whenever I write, see guys, for machine learning people, this star args and double star keyword arguments is a very, very, very important concept. For remaining people, I don't know how much extent they will use this, but in machine learning, for our data science people, the what is star args, what is double star KW args, keyword arguments is very important. You have to know it. You have to know it. I'll show you some examples for today. Now I'm going to call the function actually, guys. Find sum of. If you want, you can pass 10, 20. That is fine. I don't have a problem. If you want, you can call it like find sum of, which is going to be y equal, you provide any order, y equal to 10 and x is equal to 20. It does not matter. Output is going to be again 30 only. But problem here is, whenever I said find sum of, if I said, I don't know what are the arguments. I know that there are two arguments are there. But if I said I equal to 10 and j equal to 20, I equal to 10 and j equal to 20, then output is going to be coming like an error. We are going to get it actually, guys. Can you see? Find sum got an unexpected keyword argument called as an I. Find sum has got an unexpected keyword argument called as an I because I was not there in that particular function. But I don't want to restrict like that. User can give I, j, x, y. Whatever he gives x and y. He gives I and j. He will give a and b. He will give m and n. He will give n and n1 and 2. Anything it has to work. So in that case, what I'm going to do is, guys, first I'll show you the application. Have a look at this one, guys. Diff. Have a look at this. Diff, which is going to be nothing but I said find the sum one. I'm not. If I use star args, you know what is the problem actually. Star args means user can give any number of arguments, but he cannot use the names. It is only positional, but not keyword arguments. That's why what I'm going to do is it is double star KW args. It is going to be double star KW args, which is going to be nothing but a keyword arguments, what we are going to calling it as. Flexible keyword argument. So two options are advantage here, guys. User can give any number of arguments. User can give any number of arguments, as well as second thing is going to be, he can give any name to the arguments. First, let me show you, print what is going to be the KW args. What are the KW args? And as usually, what is the type of KW args? So don't think that you have to give only KW args only, guys. Even if you say A also, I don't bother. If you want, I'll show you once. What is going to be A? Just a second. Type of A and what is the A here? You can also use A also. I don't bother about that. But only thing is Python does not recommend like that. Python always recommends saying that better to use a standard notations. Everybody will follow the same standard notation only will follow it. Everyone, we have to follow the same standard notation only. We are going to be following it actually, guys. Have a look at this. Now execute it. I remove the name. I don't follow the name, but have a look at this one, guys. Find the sum one of. But one more thing actually, guys. Whenever I use a double star, compulsory it must be keyword arguments. You cannot pass like this. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. We cannot pass like this. See? We are getting an error saying that the find someone will take 0 positional arguments. It won't take any positional argument. You know, guys, what is positional argument? Keyword argument. Positional arguments means with respect to the positions, it will take. Keyword arguments means with respect to the name, it will take it actually. These are keyword arguments. These are positional arguments. Can I mix up them? Yes. But there are some rules are there. After keyword, we cannot have position. But after position, we can have the keyword. Right. Now have a look at this. Find sum is not taking any positional argument. So what we have to say, have a look at this. You can give any name. X equal to, A equal to, Z equal to, B equal to, but don't repeat the name. Again, if you repeat the name B equal to means I may get a problem. Okay. Keyword argument has been repeated. So give some C. See guys? If you observe carefully, the function is executed successfully, guys. And if you can observe carefully, it is printing the A. But how it is printing the A, you can see. The argument name has been got converted into, which is going to be nothing but a variable, a key, value, key, value, key, value, key, value, key, value. What type of object it is? It's a dictionary actually, guys. It is a dictionary. It is a dictionary actually. So once if you know what is a dictionary, you can handle it. Just for the time being, the guys who do not have the idea about the, if you don't have the idea about this one, let us say that D equal to this dictionary, guys. This is a dictionary object. But there is an advantage is there. D dot keys. You can get this is a method actually, guys. It will going to give you what are the keys. X, A, B, C. If you want the values, D dot it is values. Simple technique, guys. It is D dot values. D dot values is going to give you the values of that. Okay, if you want to extract the keys, extract the values, we can do it actually. D of X. D of X is going to give you the value of the key value X it is going to be. Got the point? So what I'm going to do now, guys, you give any arguments, but I don't restrict you. But I'm going to take your values and I will add up the things actually. Now I'll show you the example. Have a look at this one. Same technique. T is equivalent to 0. For same concept, guys, same like earlier case I've written it actually, but it is not in the args. Why? Because here args is a dictionary object. Dictionary means only keys will come. For example, if I said only dictionary, only keys will come. That's why what I'm going to do is it is going to be for I in, for I in, which is going to be, guys, who has already completed, they knows about that. It is going to be your, I'll do one thing, guys. I'll change it to KW args. Here also I change it to KW args because generally I always follow the same standards only what Python recommends. KW args. So what I'm going to write actually, guys, for I in, what is going to be KW args dot values. It is going to be dot values. I'm asking to pick the values, guys. I'm asking you to pick the values actually. Even if you want, you can pick the keys, but don't add the keys. Keys are here is going to be string values. We cannot add them. So we have to add up the values. I'll show you both of them if you want. I in the KW args dot values. Just now I shown values are nothing but these values. First value will come, second value will come, third value will come. Same notation. I plus is T plus is equivalent to nothing but it is I. And then come outside that and return the value of T over. Now, however you call the function, it is going to work actually, guys. See, guys, it is printing the values as well as even it is going to be printing the type and we can get the values. You give any values, guys. I don't bother. N1 is equal to 20. N2 is equal to 13. So what I'm going to say, what I'm saying it actually, guys, this function can be used to add any numbers. Whether you give 10 numbers also I'll accept it, 100 numbers also accept it, 0 numbers also I'll accept it. If you give, but compulsory we have to give a name. For example, if I said 40 here, for example, here if I give 40, it won't accept it actually, guys. Why? Because this is getting converted into, a dictionary object. It is getting converted into a dictionary object actually, guys. Okay. It is converting into a dictionary object. If you want to convert into dictionary, compulsory, there must be key value pair mechanism must be there. Can you see? Take 0 positional arguments, but 1 has been given actually. So we should not give this 40 like that. Do you want? You can give it Z equal to, I don't bother. Z, okay, Z may be repeated. I'll say Z1, no problem. Execute it. Simply, it is going to work actually, guys. So 240 is the result. See, guys, how flexibility these arguments are going to be giving you. So that is going to be basically the idea about this kind of a concepts actually, guys. So why I'm specifically insisting on this? Because in our coming classes actually, guys, specifically who are working on data science, they will use as the functions which will take either flexible arguments or a flexible keyword arguments. We'll see this very, very frequently in the coming classes, guys. Very frequently. Don't think that we never use it actually, guys. These are very frequently used. I'll show you one small examples actually, guys. Have a look at this. There is going to be a map function is there actually, guys. Can you see? What are the arguments it is taking? Star args and which is going to be double star KW args. Can you see there? star args, and which is going to be nothing but what we can see is the double star KW args. Not only this actually guys, in our coming examples, import, don't worry, I'm importing some libraries, don't worry about this guys. It is matplotlib, which is going to be pyplot as in PLT. Just don't worry, I'll show you the examples. Okay, I'm imported some library. Don't worry, just it's an idea. Today I'm going to explain all these things. What are that libraries and all these things? I'll explain it. Now have a look at this one, guys. PLT.bar. Yesterday I told you. So you can see it actually, guys. X, there is a height. Observe carefully, guys. X, there is an height, there is a width, there is a bottom, align data. At the last, we can see what is going to be double star KW args. What are the double star KW args? It can be any of these parameters. That means even if I give some argument which is not there in that particular function also, it will accept it. It will accept it actually, guys. Here also we can do it, guys, if you want. I'll do one thing. Here what it is doing actually, guys, it is finding the sum of all the numbers. It is finding sum of all the numbers. This time what I will do is, I will try to make a function which will only try to find out sum of x and y only. Remaining will be ignored. Don't think that compulsory we have to consider all of them actually, guys. Then I don't write all these things, guys. I will want to find out only sum of x and y only. Have a look at this one. I'm printing it, but have a look at this one, guys. Return directly, guys. Return. You know that KW args is a variable. KW args. From that, I want to get the x value plus KW arguments of which is going to be nothing but y value. Execute. Over. So what it is doing actually, guys, it is not finding the sum of all the numbers you have been given. It will only find out the sum of only the two keys, x and y only. It will find it off. Just check it out if you want. I want to write it actually, guys. Find the sum one of. Now you say it actually, guys. A equal to 10, B equal to 20, X equal to 100, and Y equal to 200. It will only find out only sum of X and Y only. It will find it off. You are given four variables, guys. X, Y, A, B. But I will find out only sum of these two numbers only. I will find it off. Because I restricted only to X and Y only. Previously, I didn't done like that. I taken all the values and added up here. So here, my function says that you give x and y. So that's why what I will give the documentation actually, guys. While I'm giving the documentation, what I will say is input is going to be KW args. You can also give documentation actually, guys. While calling, you can call the documentation. If you press the shift plus tab, you will get it actually, guys. So you see the doc string, there is no doc string is there. Doc string, we can give it actually, guys. How do you give this doc string actually, guys? We can give the doc string like this. Then I say that just now shown, you know, the function called as a map function I shown you. Just a second. I'll show you the map function once again. Can you see, guys, what is an option we have got it actually? The initial signature is going to be, what is actual signature is going to be map arguments and KW args. See the doc string is nothing but they'll give some documentation for this actually, guys. They'll give the documentation for this. I'm writing the same documentation here now. What is the documentation I'm going to write it actually, guys? It is going to be nothing but it's a finds underscore sum one of, I'm writing x comma y. So you give x and y, but other than x and y, if you give any argument, I'll ignore it. I don't give any error. Execute, guys. You can, this is nothing but the documentation actually, guys. Immediately after the function, you can write your documentation, either enclose it within 3 single quotes or either in the 3 double quotes also we can use it. Now see the documentation, you can get it actually, guys. See, actually the function will take that, the meaning is, what I mean to say, guys, this function will take any number of arguments with any names, but I will consider only x and y only. I will consider only x and y only. I'm going to consider. That is what I'm talking about that. So you give any arguments, but like previous case we have been seen. Previous case, it is not like that. If I give y and j, it is not working. If I give only x and y only, it will works. But here it is not like that. I give you any number of arguments. You give me any number of arguments, but I will accept only x and y. But unfortunately, if I don't give the y, then it throws the error. Then it throws the error. Why? Because the key was k was not found. But there is a solution is there actually, guys. We can also have a method called as an get method is there. What is a get method will do is, if the y was not found, it will take some default value 0. Now there is no problem with this. Even same as it is. If you don't give the x, I can get the method. So there is a get method is there. Get of x comma 0. What is meaning of get of x comma 0 means get the value of x. If the value is not there, return 0. That is a default value, what we can call it as. Execute it. Now you can call the function. 100, I didn't give an y. So y will be taken as 0. What happened? It is going to be kw args of get. Somewhere the mistake. Yeah. Something it has been messed up actually, guys. It is going to be kw args. Some messing, the messy has been taken. It's messed up. Right. Now execute, guys. Now see, guys, even if I don't give the y value, it is taking the value. There is no y value. It's not giving any error. We are getting 0. So the 0 is going to be 100 plus 0 is going to be this one. If I don't give the x also, we don't get a plus b. We don't get the a plus b value actually, guys. You are going to get only x and y value only will come, but no x and no y. So x value will be taken 0, y value will be taken 0. You are going to be getting the 0 as the result. So that is the way how we are going to be gets working. It's a new concept to you guys, but carefully we have to study those particular applications. Very carefully. Very carefully we have to study those applications, guys. That is what exactly it is to mean to say that actually, guys. Okay. It's a little bit practice. And apart from that, you have to understand those particular applications. So we have to do this kind of a concepts actually. Why? Because specifically in Python, we are going to do these operations very, very frequently, guys. Very frequently, we are going to do it actually, guys. Why? Because throughout the Python concepts, we have to use it. I told you, just now I shown in the matplotlib. Not only here, guys, everywhere it is going to be the same only. PLT, mostly, even anywhere. Anywhere we are going to be using the same concept. Mostly in the matplotlib we'll use this actually, guys. Mostly in the matplotlib. For example, if I said text, execute and check the parameters actually, guys. Can you see? It is taking totally, you can understand it actually, guys. There are first 4 arguments are there. X, Y, S, and font dictionary. Okay, X is mandatory, Y is mandatory, S is mandatory. These 3 are mandatory, guys. Okay. Next one is going to be font dictionary is not mandatory. It's not mandatory because equal to means there is a default value. After that, you can give any values. You give A, B, C, whatever you want. But it will take only the arguments what it has been taken. What are that particular KW args? You can see all the KW args. We can see it here. Just an example I'm showing you. Don't worry. If I execute this, you'll get an error actually, guys. Compulsory, we require 3 required positional argument, X, Y, and Z. So if you want, you can pass. X is, let us say, 0.5. Y is going to be 0.5. Text is going to be nothing but it's an hello. Text is going to be nothing but hello. It's nothing but it is plotting. It's drawing a plot actually, guys. At 0.5, 0.5, I have been drawn this. After that, you give any arguments. I don't bother about that. For example, if I give, you don't know the variable. Let us say that there is something called as a color is there. You don't know whether it is a color, COL, anything. So let us say that COL is equal to red. Execute. Okay. COL is equal to red. Actually, there is one more argument is there. That is the reason why it has been missing actually. We are getting an error actually, guys. So there is going to be something called as there is a color property. Actually, we have to write it as what is the parameter name? Just a second once. It is going to be font dictionary. Just a second. Font dictionary is equal to, just don't worry about that. So what is happening? Text object. Actually, we should not get the error. Okay, no worries. I'll check it out once again later. So this is going to be something called as which is going to be, why? Because there is a flexible arguments are there. Flexible arguments means you can give any arguments, whatever you want to give. That is the basic ideas. Okay. So color is equal to red. So color has been changed. What is going to be, what is the font size? You can increase the font size actually, guys. Size or font size. Just like in our clothing, you will have it now, guys. Medium, large, extra large, all these things actually, guys. This is large. This is extra large. And this is going to be double extra large actually, guys. Can you see? The font size has been changed. The color has been changed to red and the size also has been changed actually. Even we are having bold, italics. Those are also going to be, we can do that. Font weight. This is so you can, no need to remember all these parameters actually, guys. Font weight is equal to nothing but I said, which is going to be bold. So it has been become a bold font. It has been become actually. So let me write it as, which is going to be hello. So the function allows you to provide any arguments, whatever you want. That is what the basic idea about this particular double star KW args, guys. Okay. So that is going to be the reason why I'm mostly insisting on this. So you should be compulsory knowing about what is this concept of star args and what is this concept called as the double star KW args, because without knowing them, we can't work with that particular functions in the Python. Must and should,
Sir,
we should. Yeah.
here one question here.
Yeah.
What is the x and y values actually? You have given 0.5.
No, it's nothing but the coordinates of that actually. So it is going to be 0, 2. So normally in the graph, 0, 2, 1, 0, 2, 1 actually. So normally what it will do is, just a second. This is going to be, just a second, PLT dot, don't worry. This is only for your understanding, I told you. So whenever I said which is going to be, just a second, don't worry. Right. So if you can see, this is going to be 0, 2, 1 and this is 0, 2, 1. So x coordinate 0.5 means it will start here. Y coordinate 0.5 means it will start here. So it is going to be nothing but the text location what I'm going to be talking about.
Yeah,
Okay.
fine.
S is going to be nothing but the text what you want to plot it actually. So PLT dot text. So x-axis is equal to, if you want, right, you can write it. If you want to get at here now, x is equivalent to 0, y is equivalent to 1, your string is equal to nothing but it is an hello actually. So then it is going to be coming at this particular location. Can you see the location?
Yes,
That is the case. Okay, fine. Right.
Thank you.
That's it actually, guys. Right. So that we'll study it later. Later means whenever we go to the matplotlib and all these things, we'll study about that. Okay. So this is the basic concepts which you have to require for the Python actually, guys. So as an understanding process, I've given all these concepts, but actually all these concepts are not required. Once again, guys, I will just review the concepts, whatever that is going to be, I have been taught here, or you have been got learned, but all the concepts are not required. Like first we have been got discussed about what is the basic types we have been got discussed. First of all, we discussed about operators, guys. Arithmetic operators, logical operators, we know the concepts now, guys. So those things what we can say. The second one is nothing but basic types. Like integer, we are having a float. After that, we are having a bool. And after that, we are going to be having a string. And after that, we have been got discussed. Yeah. Just give me a second, guys. Just give me a second. I'll be back. Yeah, guys, let's continue, guys. So I have been discussed about basic types actually. After that, we have discussed about sequences, guys. All of them are not required, guys. Like list, mainly, guys, list, tuple. I have been discussed about a set. I have been discussed about a dictionary, and I discussed about a range object. Range is nothing but just to generate a sequence of numbers. After that, I have been normally conditional control statements, guys. What are conditional and what are control statements? They are nothing but if statement for statements. After that, I have been discussed. Actually, I discussed about a string class that is not mandatory. It's not a mandatory to learn, but just a few methods actually, guys. I want to convert a string into uppercase, lowercase, some examples. Maybe 1 or 2 times we'll use it actually, guys. Later, whenever if you got any requirement, I'll use it. Then you can study the concept. Mainly, we have to understand comprehensions actually, guys. Comprehension nothing but same conditional control statements only, but in a simple way to write it actually. Finally, we are having the functions. Actually, these are the mainly, guys, 6 or whatever, maybe 5 or 6 topics. That's it. That's it actually, guys. Operators, you all of you know that addition, subtraction, arithmetic operators, relational operators, okay, logical operators. These are going to be the basic things. Basic data types also we know that generally any language. Only thing is Python is a dynamically typed language. No need to declare any variables. Directly we can say I equal to 10. Try to find out what is the I. Type of I is going to be nothing but tells you, which is going to be nothing but it is an integer value, something like that. What are sequences? I told you. List is nothing but square brackets. Tuple is going to be parentheses. Sets are nothing but the curly brackets. And the dictionary also curly brackets, but a key value pair concept actually. We have to have a key, we have to have a value like that. Conditional control statement, just like in other languages. Comprehensions is a new topic. In functions, concept is same, only the additional topics are going to be star arcs, and which is going to be the double star arcs. Only these are the additional things what we have. So these are the things which are required to study our machine learning concepts, guys. Okay, that is what we have been got discussed up to now. These are the things. So if anybody has been going to be missed those classes, you can just learn those particular things actually, guys. So as I told you, I have a multiple resources are there. So I explained them clearly. That is the reason it has taken that much time. Otherwise, just 4 or 5 classes is sufficient for you. So as I told you, if you get registered, you will be getting the access to the videos, to my class videos, as well as even we are going to be having, which is going to be, they also will share you some extra videos also. The complete Python course videos also, they will share you guys. Or apart from that, if you want to learn in an easy way, hope all of you have an idea about this one, guys. W3 schools. So W3 schools basically for, you can learn it actually, guys. So tutorials, we are having a Python tutorials will be there actually, guys. Learning Python. So see, guys, these are the basic options. All these are not okay. I forgot to discuss about lambda functions, guys. Now I got to know. Now I remembered. Okay, leave it. I'll come back to the lambda functions. No worries, guys. See, guys, hardly these are going to be the topics actually, guys. Okay, Python. What is going to be the Python? We can see just the concepts. We can see, study the application, and we can just go to the next option actually, guys. Go to the next page. There will be just like a next page. Very simple actually, guys. Python introduction. Like why Python, what Python can do, just all these things we have been got discussed about that. This we can learn it actually, guys. Next one is going to be Python getting started. So how to write all these things, we can write it actually. Quick start, how to write it, I told you about that. And apart from that, what is going to be the Python syntaxes, how to write the Python syntaxes, we can write it actually. So apart from that, we are having the Python comments, what we can see. Hash is a comment actually, guys. In Python, we are going to use the hash as a comment, what we are going to be users actually, if you want to do any comments. After that, we are having the variables actually, guys. No need to declare any variables. Why? Because Python is going to be a dynamically typed language. So no need to assign any data type to that particular variable. Just x equal to 5, y equal to John, print x and y. So these are going to be assigning of multiple variables. These are Python variables concept, guys. Data types already I told you. So we are having integer, floats, list, tuples, sequence of types, list, tuples, dictionaries, sets and frozen sets are there. Boolean type is going to be this one. All these are not required actually, guys. So Python numbers, how to work with the numbers, how to work conversion, I'll tell you later. Strings, some ideas about the string objects actually, guys. Okay, so like that, we are going to be having it actually. So these are some of the options actually, guys. List, what are going to be the list actually, guys? So lists are going to be nothing but a sequence of elements, what we can say that actually. So they can be stored with the representing by the square brackets, and we can get the values, whatever you want, we can get the values. There are some methods are there actually, guys. If you know the methods, it is going to be helps you to understand that kind of an applications. But all of them are not required actually. So we can see it actually, guys. Can you see? Access the list item, change the list item, sort them, join the list. These are the list methods. I told you, no, append, clear, copy, count, extend, index, insert. All these are not required. Just appending. One example is sufficient with that. So if you want to study, you can study it actually, guys. Append. You can study the concept. You can also have the environment actually, guys. Just list dot append the elements. If you want, you can try yourself. There is a the Python environment will come actually, guys. You can write the code. You can remove this code and you can write your code actually, guys. X is equal to. I remove the code actually, guys. X is equal to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Print the value of X. Print the value of X and run the code actually, guys. So where I'm running actually, guys, in the W3 skill runtime environment actually. Their environment is different. So we have got it actually, guys. Then I said X dot append of, which is going to be 16. You can run the code actually, guys. So then you have to print the value of X. If you don't print the value, we can't see the result actually, guys, because X dot append won't return any output to you. It will only append. It will append the 60 and sit silently. Now, if you want to see, print the value of X. It is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. And after that, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 is the result what we can get it. So that is the way how we are going to be gets working with this kind of an applications, what we can do, guys. Okay. So this is the one resource from where you can learn the things actually, guys. Okay. So there only you can do the practice if you want, and there only we can work with that particular applications. Okay. So we can study all these things, guys. So how to write a if and else if statement, how to write the for loops. Just if you want to learn, we can learn the things. Otherwise, just go through my recording videos, or you can go through the Python videos, which will be shared. You can access those particular videos, guys. Okay. So that is going to be all about how we are going to be gets working with this kind of an applications. Okay. So that's it. Actually, guys, these are the only basic things which we have to study about that. These are all going to be the basics thing. Being I have been explained it a little bit clearly, it has taken this much time actually, guys. Otherwise, first 1 week is going to be introduction classes actually, guys. Hardly it is going to be 2 weeks classes actually. It's hardly 2 weeks classes. Generally, we'll take it 2 to 3 weeks. We'll take it. Okay. So once if you complete your core Python concepts, then we want to go to the next level actually, guys. Next level. We want to go to the next level. So from now onwards, our concentration is completely towards the data science. Up to now, we didn't talk about the data science related concepts. But whatever we are talking from now onwards, or whatever we are going to be discussing or learning from now onwards, is everything is going to be towards the data science concepts. Okay. Actually, we plan to start with something called as a modules. So tomorrow I'll start with this, guys. Already 10:20 is the time. So tomorrow, from tomorrow onwards, guys, the main classes, even if you miss this up to now, even if you miss these classes also, we can just cover up them, or you can learn by yourself. But from tomorrow's class, the main classes will start actually, guys. Main classes means your main concepts of which is towards the data science we are going to be moving. So tomorrow I'll talk about what is libraries, what is modules, packages, how to get the packages, what are the packages that are available, how to get them, how to work with them, all these things I'll tell you. Okay. Tomorrow maximum I'll start with the packages, and I'll start with the first package called as an arrays. And from day after tomorrow, we'll start with a regular one, our main package called as an NumPy. 4 or 5 days, we'll work on the NumPy, guys. Then we'll move to pandas. And after completion of pandas, we'll go to matplotlib, seaborn. After that, we'll start with the scikit-learn, which is machine learning libraries. Okay. So that's it all about the today's class, guys. So today we'll just stop it for today, and we'll continue in the tomorrow's class, right? If you have any questions, guys, I can just answer any questions for your, if you have any questions, you can just discuss the questions. Yes. Yeah. Anyone, guys, any questions if you have?
No, sir.
Yeah. Yes. Sharayu, right? Any questions, Sharayu?
No, sir. No.
Okay, fine. Right. So guys, one thing is, yeah, you have to complete all your registration process, guys, so that you can get your access of videos, materials, all these things will be shared to you. So complete your procedures as soon as possible, so that you can have the videos backup, recorded videos access to you, and even what are the classes that has been happened that will be getting access to you. And you can just get all the access and immediately get Python videos also, so that you can watch those particular videos also. Right. Yes, Ishwari, I have any question?
Yes, sir. I have a doubt, sir.
Yeah.
So Python is object-oriented programming, right?
Yes.
So every variable being defined, is it an object?
Is a object from a class.
Object from a class.
Yes.
So let's say A equals to 10. Now A will become an object, sir.
Yes, A is an object of a class of integer class.
Okay.
That's why whenever we set, see, A is actually, okay, A is an argument, no? So we cannot access. Whenever we set type of A, what is going to be type of the A when I said A equal to 10? And I said what is going to be the type of the A, which is going to be saying that it is an integer actually. Integer is a class here now. So if you actually, I have not yet discussed about that. So whenever you want to get the help of anything, say help integer. So if you can observe carefully, actually, we have to talk about modules, right?
Okay.
So you can see help on the class called as an what class?
Int.
Integer class. Anything, for example, if I said which is going to be 10, 20, 30, then this is a list actually. A is an object of a list class. So if I said help the list, that is also going to be nothing but it's a class only. Help on the class called as a list, in the modules called as an built-ins module. So I told you now, tomorrow we are going to start with the modules concept. So tomorrow I'll clarify all these complete applications once again. But already I discussed it. I just 2 days I given an introduction to object-oriented programming. It's an introduction part. It's not a mandatory to learn, but to clarify your doubt only, because everybody will get a doubt, no? Even integer, float, strings, these are not data types in Python. They are actually the classes, actually predefined classes in the Python. Everything is predefined.
Okay. Okay. Sir.
Arrays, numpy
Right, different
arrays, everything
dynamic.
is a class only. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sure, sir. Thank
Right?
you so
Fine.
much. Sir.
Thank you. Right.
Thank you.
Anyone, guys? Any questions? Okay, guys. So just for today, we'll stop it here, guys. Earlier we have a very few students. Now we have a good numbers. Generally, it's maybe due to some reason. Some people didn't join initially. That's the reason we have been started the classes. But now we have a good numbers are there. So if you have good number of students, also we have good strength will be there. Classes also will be interesting. If you have only 2-3 students, the classes will not be at all interesting actually, right? So just for today, stop it here, guys. And we'll continue tomorrow. I will also create a group also actually, guys, so that you can discuss any issues or any doubts, clarification, anything in the group. You can create it. We can discuss it over the group. Okay. Just the maximum I'll create it today, and tomorrow I'll share you the link. You can please join the group. Once the students are registered, you can join the groups actually, guys. Okay. So 1 or 2 days I'll create it, and then we can join the groups and we can have a discussions over the groups. So thanks for today, guys. We'll meet up in the tomorrow's class. Thank you all of you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.